I had originally heard about Martin, just a little bit, kind of vague on the horsemanship clinician thing. I had heard that he came to Maine and that a few people that I knew had participated in the clinic with him and that they really, really liked him. I hadn't planned on moving to Idaho, and I thought that I would eventually like to participate in a clinic with him in Maine. I did not know where the venue was, but then saddle fitting in Maine, I realized that it was at Kim Stone's place, and then I drove by her place in my saddle fitting travels, and I went, aha, that's where the clinic is. That's pretty close. I can definitely drive up there in a little over an hour, and I would like to do that. So I signed myself up to participate in the October clinic of 2021, but sadly it was not to be at that time because I moved to Idaho at the end of July. And I will say that I was overjoyed to find out that I could just apply my deposit to a future clinic, and then I was truly elated to find out that Martin was in fact only 2.5 hours south and west of me from where I was going to be living in Haley. So that was totally doable, and I figured it was just kind of fate that it all worked out like that. I was looking for something actually kind of more authentic rather than just a clinic experience where you're in the arena and you're not necessarily riding outside. I had worked just a little bit with cattle, but in a roe deer, in an arena, no more than actually half a dozen at a time. So I really kind of wanted something far more authentic than that, and to ride across the country. I'd never been out west, and I really wanted to experience really kind of the real deal. There's very few people that offer you the real deal. I brought my own horses, and although they are somewhat limited in the bridle horse traditions, they've adapted pretty well to life out here. They've certainly made themselves quite comfortable in Martin's cavy, and they've held up well going over this kind of terrain, which I'm pleased about. They are a far cry from a bridle horse, but you got to start somewhere. I would eventually love to ride some of Martin's horses so I can feel what it feels like to ride a finished bridle horse. I will say that Martin pushed me a little bit out of my comfort zone, but if you don't get out of your comfort zone, how are you ever going to learn anything? If you never make a mistake, you're not going to learn from your mistakes, and I find that the mistakes that you do make are the ones that you typically try not to make again if it's really uncomfortable. And Martin is a very encouraging person. He's patient. He's an excellent teacher. He never seems to get frustrated, and so that in and of itself is a wonderful attribute because you feel like you can get outside of your comfort zone, and he's going to continue to encourage you and teach you patiently if you're paying attention and you try to listen. I try to be a good student, but sometimes we all do stuff that we're not even aware of. Martin doesn't miss anything. There's all kinds of things that just working cows. I haven't ever roped. I'm not handy with the rope yet. But I feel that if I stay with Martin and learn from him, then really I can achieve, hopefully, a much higher level of horsemanship. And so I guess I have the confidence in Martin to really help me hone that skill level to a much higher form. I would absolutely encourage them to come out, simply because he's got great horses. It's, this place that he has here, you can't duplicate this anywhere. don't come expecting, to have it be luxurious, because it's not that. But if you're here for all the right reasons, which I think are to really gain some skills that you wouldn't have the opportunity to do in any other place, then this is definitely the place for you. And you're going to learn. If you're open-minded and, and your heart is really open to that, then I don't think that you can find this experience anywhere else. I love being here, and I'm so glad that I met Martin and had the opportunity to work with him on his ranch under these circumstances, because I've never had any other experience like this in my whole life.